Well, yeah, it's podcast time.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what? This is. I feel like maybe I shouldn't pull at this thread because I don't know where it goes. But this was the first week in like the 3-year history of this podcast where I was just like, fuck it. Like,
is it like abandon it all?
Yeah.
I've about for the last 4 weeks for me, I've been like, I could probably, end it. Yeah. But it's so little effort to do, really.
Well, I had that excuse. I had the little effort, but like that's because I'm not doing the editing anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, I'm happy to do with it, whatever. I still think it's fun. Well, no. Thread pulled. No, yeah, it's still fun. It's still fun to do. It's probably less fun to edit, but to be honest, I got to a point today when I was thinking about editing. I was like, I remember on the audio only, we would just. There were some edits where it was just like, just tag on the intro and the outro. Save. Don't even listen to it.
Yeah,
just plonk it up, and that's pretty doable with the side screen stuff. To be honest, it's just it was like trying to be mega responsible and think about cutting bits out and for backups and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's where this takes up the time. But I'm happy to continue. It's not
well good.
To continue.
So this is 220. The one where we compensate it all.
Yeah, 220. We're on YouTube. If you're just listening, you can give us a look at our faces and throw us some hate mail. That'd be great. I haven't written the intro, so I don't have to got to improvise. We've got a website, pullingteethpodcast.com. There's an Amazon banner in the corner. If you fancy supporting us, you know how that works. Give it a go. And social media, where we are technically there.
There are accounts.
Yeah. To be honest, I still check emails every now and then, every week at the very least. If you do have any funny stories or articles or just want to drop us a message, we are wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
We are. I never updated the email on my thing. Now every day it just says, your password's wrong. I don't care. I think,
as in you had it on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, because the old one.
Yeah, yeah. Because it was when we changed server to like Google or whatever the fuck it was. It hasn't worked since.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our intro, episode 220. It's always good. How are you, Steve?
I don't know. I'm all right.
I've forgotten.
Sure. Yeah. No. It's definitely hitting that stride of this time of the year where everything is just kind of like just full steam. Like there's days and weeks are all blurring together, and like life is one big mess.
Merry Christmas. As in your work's busy, or your social life is kaboomed?
Yeah, work's busy. Social life. Luckily, social life doesn't get to boom this year because of coronavirus.
It's got coal in its stocking.
Yeah. It's great. Which, to be fair, like if people were asking me if I wanted to do stuff, I'd have to say no. So like it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's bad for everybody that's lost their jobs and some people who've died and stuff. But like,
but Steve's doing wonderfully.
Steve's lack of social life is really helping. Yeah.
So just like work stuff has picked up.
Yeah. Well, it's that thing of like heading for a big deadline. And it's just everything's been gathering momentum for weeks, and now it's like the boulder is nearing the bottom of the hill, and it's going at an unstoppable pace. Like it's at that point.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Doing what you love. It's like you're going to get crushed by responsibility at the the bottom of this hill.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, well, I'm like, have you seen the cartoons where they like? They're about to get crushed and they jump and land on the thing and just start running with it.
Right, yeah.
Like I'm at that point and it's like it's either going to crush me or it's going to be all right. But either way, I've got to run.
Right. Is that like because is that still for another company that you're doing stuff for?
Yeah.
All their deadlines.
All of theirs and a couple of others that are converging as well because people love to have stuff before Christmas for some reason because they don't want to think about it in January, even if it's not going to be used till February. It's really weird.
It's got to be part of the Q4 budget.
Shut up. Just... Yeah. But, yeah.
Well, you've scrubbed off your idea that was on the whiteboard last week. Can't remember what it was. Something about a child dying in the forest.
No, that's all still the same. It's just there's some papers stuck to it with magnets now. Organised.
Oh, the magnets are back.
I've taken them out the packet now. Progress.
Wild times. Well, that's what happens when responsibility starts crushing you like a massive rock.
You have to open your mail.
Gotta get those magnets.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Yeah,
I've been having power cut fun times.
Yeah,
my microwave exploded, which is
so
good.
now you haven't got an oven or a microwave.
Nope. I've got a brand new oven still in the packaging, just in the corner.
Still not
just waiting.
Done.
Nope. Well,
but it's Christmas. How are you going to make the turkey?
Well, they were meant to come at the beginning of this month, I think. After cancel. Yeah. There's so much more to it, but yeah, the most recent one was they had to. I needed my energy supplier to come round and fix an isolation switch so that electrical work could be done. They came around 2 months ago, and that was the guy who said, well, my job says I've got to install the meters, then the isolation switch, and that doesn't make sense, so I'll come back next month. And so I had a thing booked at the beginning of this month, which was isolation switcher, then meters, and then they called me an hour before and said, oh, sorry, there's been an emergency. So it's like 2-3 months just to wait for this.
So what are you eating?
The pre-work to be done. Sorry?
What are you eating?
I've got a George Foreman grill. So
you just eat the grill.
Chicken and hot grapes.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, just mix it. Yeah, just grilling stuff and boiling stuff. That's Christmas, isn't it?
That's a
boiled turkey.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that started deep frying their turkey. I'm like, that's a big fryer to store to use once a year.
I don't think there's been much that I've enjoyed like deep frying. I had a neighbour who had a deep fat fryer and his chips were a little better. But I prefer oven cut chips, and fried cucumber never really appealed to me. Can you fry a cucumber?
I wouldn't, because it's pretty much water.
Yeah, but like, would it come out as like a crisp? Could do cucumber crisps?
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that because you can do like fried pickles, can't you? So it'd probably be like that.
Yeah,
I imagine so.
But yeah, I haven't fried that much things.
Deep fried Coke. I was like, what? That's not... How does that work? But I was like, well, maybe it's frozen and then battered, and why?
Then snorted, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, why not try things people made banoffee pie, didn't they? Probably
best dessert in the world.
Risk things.
That's good.
Oh, is it, Steve? Is it really? I'm not going to get into it with you. It's going to get.
I just like banoffee pie. Yeah. Although I've never had key lime pie. That's meant to be good.
I had key lime pie in a restaurant next to you. I gave you the finger. There's a photo of it on Facebook somewhere.
Right. So we've established that you've had key lime pie. I got a middle finger.
Yeah. I think it was key lime pie hate Steve Milligan. I did a whole series of things that hate Steve Milligan.
You did.
There was like bison burger with, I don't know, crispy onions.
Biggest moment.
Nice glass of Argentinian Malbec.
Hate
Steve Milligan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't post that much, but when I do, it hates you. So it's a weird thing to keep popping up.
Yeah.
But yeah, power cut. Like, I fixed it myself. It wasn't like a big thing. It was just, but yeah, not having a good time with the electricals at the moment. Be interesting if it does get fixed at some point. I do miss an oven now. It's been like 6 months.
So you
haven't had an oven.
You haven't made a pizza for 6 months?
Nope.
Yep.
There are ways of like the oven, the grill inside the oven works.
Yeah.
And I've had people experiment with grilling pizzas.
Oh.
Like that does work. But yeah, I haven't made any pizzas or chips or anything like that for a long time. Like I'm in a weird place. I'm actually kind of looking forward to Christmas now because when I visit family, they've got an oven. So like can make a roast and stuff like that and eat some good oveny food.
I keep getting an advertisement for an oven that sits on your worktop. It does grilling and ovening and stuff. It's about the size of a microwave. Apparently it's great, according to the advert.
I forget what they're called. They're called something.
I don't know.
We were encouraged to buy those. It's an whole American thing. Yeah, there's something. When I lived in when I lived in derelict buildings, that's what they suggested we bought, was like microwave oven. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I mean, but this was like a filament with a fan, like it was a proper kind of like little oven thing. I don't know why they're trying to sell it to me. But
isn't that the kids cookie baking?
Oh, like an easy bake oven.
Kids thing. Easy bake oven, yeah.
Yeah, with it that cooks things with a light bulb.
With the power of light.
Yeah. It was, people have been. I keep getting adverts for a sandwich maker as well, which feels very like 1995.
1995. A sandwich maker.
Yeah, like
a toasty.
Yeah.
Like panini
Toasties.
Press kind of thing.
No, just toasties, like beans and cheese on a triangle.
Yeah, I had one of those when I was at uni, I think. That's another thing I don't. Oh, you have cheese and toast.
I like it, and it's a nice. It's a nice quick thing, but I don't need a thing that does one thing. Like it's just. You know what I mean? Like,
you're too limited for my existence.
I don't eat enough sandwiches. In my
it's not
in my
sandwich,
week.
it's a toast, isn't it? I can have more sandwiches than toasties in a day, I think.
Yeah.
Too many toasties. You can't have beans on toast. People put beans in toast. These people are mistaken.
Yeah, the toasty makers. Well, she did eggs and sausage in a toasty. I was like, that's not that. Why are you doing that? I mean, it's like I understand maybe, but why? You've got to cook all the stuff first and then you encase it in bread. It seems like a giant waste of time.
And then he's going to cut it open anyway.
Right. So just put it on the bread and shut up.
Yeah. Stop being so limited. It's not right. Everything's a sandwich. Okay?
Yeah. But this is convenient. How is it convenient? It's taking you half an hour to make a sandwich.
It's just more difficult to eat, less enjoyable to eat.
Well, I can take it with me. Why couldn't you take it with you? And you wouldn't have
Where
to.
Where are you going?
The only reason you're taking it with you is because you're late. Because it's taking you so long.
Anyway, life hacks.
Life hacks. Put it in toast.
Put it in toast and deep fry that Coke.
Put it in toast
and then
we'll
be on our way.
Yeah.
But I need to sort out electrics at some point. Eventually I'll have an oven again. I'll celebrate with I don't know, not a cake.
Celebrate with Christmas 2021.
Yeah. But weird. I haven't looked forward to Christmas for a little while, but I haven't felt Christmassy at all.
No.
I haven't felt. I've been annoyed at Christmas songs. To be fair, they're so dramatic. Some of them, like that. I can't remember. Is it that charity? Is it Bono or something? Like, do they even know it's Christmas?
Yeah. Do
fucking
they
immigrants.
know? No.
Yeah. And it's just so dramatic. Like the beginning is like, it's Christmas time. And
yeah, you're normally up for the tunes.
Right, chill the fuck out, jeez. I love Christmas songs, but for some reason this and
everyone's been kicking off about the Pogues for the last few weeks because Radio 1 won't let them say faggot.
Oh yeah.
Which people told me about that as though I was going to be like, fuckers censoring these people, and I'm just like, it's their company. Right, like it's if I own a radio station and I don't want a song played on it, or I want to censor that song, that's my right.
Well, right? It just seems weird to me because just don't play the song if you don't want to play the song. Oh, I only want to play, I want to play a bit of the song or most of the song, or I want to cut out little bits of the song.
It was just cutting out. It was just
cut out the song.
It was just censoring one word. Like they like the rest of the song, they just don't like having that word in it. And it's like, well, I that's fair enough. It's like a 30-year-old song now. Like, maybe.
Well, I guess what's the deal with, artists tend to bring out radio-friendly songs, like where they've censored, I'm assuming, the artist or the production company censored swear words in it for radio release.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm assuming it was that way around, other than the radio or the people who are playing it censor it. But I guess it's no different to censoring a swear word. But it just feels like if everybody's offended by this song or upset by this song or what they believe the song is saying, don't play it. But I'm partial. I hate the song, so I'd be perfectly happy for it to be stopped.
Vicky's family hate that song. Her whole family hate it. I don't know why. I think it's like a patriarchal thing. It just comes down from her dad, and he hates it, and then they hate it, and just everybody hates it. But
Christmas tradition.
I quite liked it. I always liked it growing up, just because it was one of the few sort of Christmas songs that sounded sort of different to the others. So I kind of gravitated towards it a bit, and I didn't really care about that. It only struck me as weird when someone was like, "Oh, do you know what that means?" I was like, "I don't really care what it means." Like I'd never really thought about the song that deeply. It just seemed like that she was having a go at this bloke. Like, all right.
Well, it's always sounded like a faux American Irish page. Like, it just felt really weird. Oh, the NYPD choir is singing Galway Bay. Like, fuck off.
Which doesn't exist. The choir doesn't exist. It's not a real choir.
Galway's not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's pandemic. But I was never a big fan of the song. My favourite Christmas song is still... I've got a few, but my all-time favourite is still... I forget the guy's name, but it's like, "Hey, Mr. Churchill comes over here to say we're doing splendidly."
Yeah.
When I was working in restaurants, that was and I was working... When Christmas is obviously really busy, so you work crazy shifts, and that was the song that always got me like, hey! I got my second wind from it. Oh, that. And who's the guy from that band?
What is that?
Yeah, there was a new recent one as well from... He's not... Oh my God, he's going to bug me. He's from a big band. That's all I know. He did Alisund. Who did Alisund? Sun Kill Moon. The guy from Sun Kill Moon did a version of a Christmas song that was really good. That's all I'm going to say about that. The rest of it's confidential. The rest of it's being stored in a Chinese sun. That's where all the secrets are kept.
So still fucking dumb.
Fueled by secrets.
I meant to look into that and I never did. I'm just going to leave it as a mystery.
It's not going to be secret for very long after it detonates.
Who switched on the sun? I like the one I got from Vix, actually. It's her favourite, and I've actually quite gravitated towards it. Was The Waitresses.
The Waitresses.
The Waitresses. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Merry Christmas, but I think I'll miss this one next year.
Right,
yeah, that one.
No, I hated that one.
Did you?
Yeah, but I haven't heard it since. Again, it was all like Christmas, that and Santa got ran over by a reindeer or something like that.
I never heard that one. I've heard people talk about that. I never heard it.
It's wacky and it got played a lot. But
Santa's
in
dead.
Restaurants.
Oh, isn't it weird?
All is lost. We'll never get it back.
Yeah,
but yeah, that let it snow and
yeah. I like the
Christmassy stuff.
I like the old swing things and all that stuff. That feels like Christmas when Frank and Dean Martin start singing. And I guess it's like Michael Bublé now, isn't it? Which I don't mind so much. He's got that like old style kind of swing voice. He can come out at Christmas. I quite like it. It does make it feel a bit special.
Did you hear that Robbie Williams was receiving death threats in Stoke?
Why?
I think because he's Robbie Williams.
Oh, right.
People I always thought he was like a treasure for Stoke. People loved him, but I didn't note it. But yeah, apparently he was like, oh, people in Stoke were threatening my life all the time. That's funny. Get Robbie Williams. That'll solve everything. There's a fair bit of Stoke news this week, actually.
Oh.
Which not as funny as that farmer who shot that dog in the face, but
hilarious.
But, Jesus Christ! But a woman has been banned from a busy part of, I think it's Tunstall, for 5 years as police look to curb her antisocial behaviour.
Yasmin banned
Degg
from a part of town.
Yeah, she was begging too much. Oh. No more begging for 5 years.
You're not allowed in Tunstall anymore. Oh.
Yeah. I think it was Tunstall. You'll go on. She's not allowed to visit, Town Square in Tunstall or beg anywhere in the city after a criminal behaviour order was granted by magistrates. No more begging in Tunstall. You can go around, you can go somewhere else and beg, but you've got a 5-year ban beg.
What about Burslem? Well, no one really knows the difference, so... No.
So you can just go beg there if you want, I guess. The 30-year-old of no fixed abode, I think they're saying she's nomadic or homeless, appeared in court December 4th when she pleaded guilty to stealing a CCTV camera. You might as well plead guilty if the camera that you steal was recording you stealing it.
Yeah.
She was handed an 18-week prison term. In the order also prevents her from engaging in any behaviour which causes distress. Stop it.
Well,
no more distress.
Well,
you keep distressing everyone.
Well, that's weird. Because how do you know what causes someone distress?
Well, she stole someone's CCTV camera, didn't she? That's got to be distressing. That's got to be like people are going to take that news badly. My camera. It's
not that distressing. Normally, the most distressing part about burglary is that you can't get your stuff back because you don't know who's done it.
Yeah. I guess begging is annoying, isn't it? I heard that, again, I didn't note that, but chuggers, I think, which is charitable muggers, so those people on the street with clipboards asking you to donate to charity, they've been banned from certain areas of the towns.
I got a call from the NHS today. I put the phone down on them. Like...
Oh, God. Why did you hang up on the NHS? Were they trying to sell you something?
Because they wanted my blood, but they're not opening a thing in Sandbach, and they were trying to get me to drive to Crewe. I was like, I'm not driving to Crewe.
Isn't this blood? Yeah, a while ago you donated blood and you felt really good about it. And they kept you on a register or something?
I felt nothing about it. That was the whole thing at the time. Like, you're not a fucking hero.
It was boring last time. I don't want to do it again.
No, I've done it. I've done it a few times now, but they've like, they called me asking if I can go again. I was like, well, yeah, just let me know when it's going to be in Sandbach. Let me know when it's going to be up here. And they're like, they just said, oh, we don't know when it's going to be there again, but can you go to Middlewich? I was like, no. And then they just started going around and like, I just put the phone down on him in the end. Like, I just there is a certain...
the blood superstar in you. So, well, they want my blood again, do they? Well, are you gonna bring a xylophone? What's that thing the bands do to be like every gig they go to? They want a rider. Yeah, you got to come to Sandbach with a xylophone and a cupcake. I've
never claimed to be a charitable person. And there is a certain there's a certain level to it where I'm just like, look, I'll do it. I'll do what's right if it's easy. And I've always said that. That's why I don't pirate films anymore, because Netflix is easy, right? And I'll give blood if it's easy, if it's there, if it's in town, and I can just go and sort it out. But if you're not even going to tell me when it is, then no, I'm not driving.
This isn't an escape room. I'm not going to figure out when you're going to arrive.
Like, I never claimed to be charitable. I never claimed to be a hero. Like, I was just like, it's there. I've not done it before. Like, let's go see what this is about.
Look, I left the bag of my blood in the city centre of Sandbach. If you want it, you can go get it, all right?
Yeah.
I've done my part.
I bled out. I bled out in the street. Yeah.
Yeah, go get it.
Yeah.
I'm saving lives. But yeah. So they banned charity muggers. So I guess it makes sense that they banned beggars as well.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of strong arm people. Anyway, that was Yasmin Deg. Elsewhere in Stoke, a 17-year-old boy has been arrested on suspicion of distributing an indecent image.
Can you be arrested?
This distributing feels like a weird term.
You sent someone a photo.
Yeah. So I thought that was it because it was like, oh, he's texted somebody and like my immediate thought was maybe it was like an underage photo.
Right.
Well, I guess he's 17, so I guess that's underage as well. Maybe, I don't know. But sending people indecent photos of people under the legal limit, and that was what I thought. But no details of the image have been released, but they arrested the youngster before 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. So, all right. Eyewitnesses reported seeing between 5 and 6 police cars on Chell Street in Hanley. So 6 police cars responded to a text. It's quite. It must have been a very indecent image, and it's suspicion of him distributing it. So it wasn't like handing out flyers of indecency. They like thought he texted somebody something indecent, and so 5 or 6 police cars. I'm not one of those. Shouldn't they be doing something else? But I think it's quite funny if you send an image and 6 police cars. You send someone like a in poor taste joke to somebody, and 6 police cars turn outside your door. Yeah. So yeah, he's been arrested, but I think he's fine. Oh. Just a little bit indecent. Do you know about the Twitter killer?
No, I kind of want to.
He's been sentenced to death.
Is he like the Zodiac
Japanese? Well, this is genuinely a bit of a grey area for me. I don't know whether he's guilty or not, because it's kind of like, hey, do your own thing. A Japanese
kill
court on
whoever
Tuesday. You want. Well, it gets complicated because the people wanted him to kill them. People tweeted him like, "Can you kill me, please?" And he was like, "Sure, if you come round mine, I'll kill you." And they went round his.
Oh,
so he killed him. So it's still illegal, obviously, and I think you probably have to, it should definitely be arrested and prevented from doing such things.
Yeah.
But it's not as heinous as, he killed 9 people. Most of whom had posted suicidal thoughts on social media. So I think he then got in contact with him. He's like, well, I want to kill somebody. You want to die. Why don't you come round? We'll have a party. He killed 9 people. You have to protect people against themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why you can't get any surgery you want. You can't go in can I have a new head, please? We don't know how to do it. Oh, try. You can't do that. There needs to be some kind of decision made for you in that circumstance of no, only if you need it, only if I think you need it and people think you need this surgery can we do it. So I guess it's the same about going to get murdered. It's not like Laser Quest. Got to go into a packed room with smoke and then get shot at. The Tachikawa branch of the Tokyo district found him guilty of killing, dismembering and storing the bodies of victims in his apartment in Zama, near Tokyo. He pleaded guilty and said he would not appeal his death sentence. He loves killing. Kill one more person, why not? Police arrested him in 2017 after finding the bodies of 8 females and 1 male in cold storage cases in his apartment. He offered to assist people with their suicidal wishes. Oh, okay. I didn't read this bit.
All right.
He killed the women, including teenagers, after raping them, and also killed a boyfriend of one of the women to silence him.
Right.
Yeah.
So
kill him.
So they asked to be killed, but they didn't ask to be raped.
Yeah, they didn't ask. They ordered a main course. They didn't want the side dish or the starter.
No.
So this guy needs to be murdered. This guy deserves to die.
Yeah.
On Twitter, he used the name Hangman and promised to help his victims die, inviting them to his apartment.
I promise.
Yeah.
I'll help you die.
So there's obviously a line there where it's they wanted to be murdered, not raped. So he didn't fulfill his contractual obligation. So he needs to go to the federal, Trade Descriptions Act Bureau or whatever.
Yeah.
And deserves to die. But as a Twitter killer, he's now going to be killed.
There have been cases like that before, where someone's done a video of like a proper affidavit, been like, "I want to die. I've asked this guy to kill me" and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it still doesn't go. It's still murder, isn't it? Like it's not unless even if you live in a country with legal what's it called? Euthanasia. It's still got to be by a licensed person. You can't just be like, I'm a euthanatician and just go around stabbing people.
Yeah, and there was that case, wasn't there? I think it was Germany, where a guy wanted to eat somebody and somebody wanted to be eaten, so they met up and that was
he went
consensual
to prison,
but illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's illegal to attempt suicide, so it's even illegal to attempt to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Even if you must consent in that situation, I guess. But I guess it's is it informed consent because of your headspace, I guess? But yeah, you got to protect people from themselves, and so we don't want people being murdered. Elsewhere in the UK, a Scottish man has been jailed for breaching coronavirus rules after he rode a jet ski from Scotland to the Isle of Man to see his girlfriend. So I think that was there's restrictions on travel, you shouldn't use a train unless you have to,
right? Because
you'll be with people. And he was like, "Fuck it, I'll go by sea on my ocean bike."
There's nothing in these rules about jet skis.
He'd never ridden a jet ski before,
and he made it to the Isle of Man.
Yeah, he thought it would take 40 minutes. It took 4.5 hours. That's what I like most about it. It's only down the road. It's only down the sea.
It's a 40-minute drive. It'd be fine.
I don't even know that much, distant where the Isle of Man is in relation to his Scotland. Must have had, just enough fuel, I guess.
Yeah.
On Friday, determined to see her despite coronavirus rules banning non-residents from entering the island without special permission, he made the 4.5 journey by jet ski.
Entering the island. So fucking dramatic.
Yeah. But it makes sense, right? Especially this lockdown. If you're surrounded by bodies of water.
That makes me conjure up like Waterworld.
Yeah. Or,
like, what's his face showing up on the yacht with like the jar of dirt.
I come from the outside land. Jet skiing to optimism land. It's always good. But yeah, he's gone to jail because he has admitted arriving unlawfully on the island. I love if he just racked up on one of the beaches. I need to see my girlfriend. Okay. Fine.
Who are you?
Not even a port or anything. It's a fucking jet ski.
All the police on jet skis.
Back to Stoke. Yeah, I should have organised these a little better, I think. In other Stoke-on-Trent news, police officers were called to a Stoke-on-Trent housing estate after reports of a cow. There was just a cow walking around and people called the police. I kind of understand it. I can kind of get behind that. Who else? Fire brigade?
There's a cow.
This cow's committing a crime. This cow's jaywalking around this place.
Is it an emergency?
What do you want the police to do?
I think so.
It seems fine, but I just think someone should know.
Do you want to know about this cow?
Or it was just like overly dramatic, like, it's happening again! Oh my god!
999, what's your emergency? Bovine! Cows!
Is this a horse of the apocalypse? I don't know. It's weird times. When the police arrived, a farmer was already putting it into its trailer. So the farmer obviously wanted the cow back. Yeah. Obviously. Just like, where's my cow gone? It's probably gone to Smallthorne.
Probably gone to see the lads. Dan.
Oh no, if it's got on my jet ski, I'm going to be so pissed.
I'm coming!
Isle of Man!
Isle of Cow!
Yeah, I'm going to make my own island, my own society. We're going to live happily ever after. And lastly, from me, not that much news this week, happier news from Stoke. Armed police were called after a machete-wielding man was seen in Stoke-on-Trent.
We've just seen?
Sure, just seen. Someone saw a cow, someone saw a machete-wielding man. Maybe they're part of the same dance troupe. I don't know. But
just a weird Cluedo game.
The guy wants to play Operation with a cow.
Yeah.
Never a big fan of that game. There was not that many board games. I didn't like Kaplunk either. Operation. Yeah.
I didn't have a set, so I never really played it much. I think I did it a couple of times. It was just annoying. All right.
Talk to me about that.
Fair enough.
It's like getting called up by the NHS.
Oh, now he's dead. Great.
So I've won. I'm not dead.
I'm still getting paid.
Armed police swooped on a Stoke-on-Trent street after reports of a man had a machete. The police have said that the incident has been resolved and the issue poses no risk to families nearby. I wouldn't say no risk.
Yeah.
If there was a man with a machete.
Yeah. I mean, it's at least...
If there was a cow with a machete.
You've at least got to make a note on the risk assessment. There may be a man with a machete.
Yeah. Well, if he had a machete... I found it weird because I think they said they sent out dog squads as well as armed police. Like, who's going to... What's the dog going to do? It's got a machete. Like, it's not the... You've got guns and you're thinking about sending the dogs in first. Nah, look, he's getting on. He wants to go out with honour.
Yeah.
Let him go. Fuck that. Yeah, he fucking got sucking rifles and shit.
Yeah.
Just shoot the bastard.
Yeah, but you're still looking at it as like your dog, I suppose.
So were the police, right? The police handlers, the police dog handlers.
Yeah,
it's their dog.
Yeah,
they bond with it. Just like, it's not with a machete, please.
Yeah,
even if he runs away,
no.
I would understand if there was no guns. You had guns there.
Yeah.
Why did you bring the guns and the dog?
Yeah, give the dog a knife or something. Just
give it, unless it's one of those jetpack paramedic dogs where we could properly confuse the machete wielding guy.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
No, dog.
Yeah. But they didn't confirm anything. If it had no issue, maybe he didn't have a machete. Maybe it was someone mistook the cow for a man with a machete.
Are we allowed
Maybe the cow was a bull.
Are we allowed to own a machete in this country?
I think so.
You are.
I nearly bought one.
In the privacy of your own home. Probably not allowed to take it around town with you.
Yeah, you're allowed a samurai sword, so I guess you're allowed a machete.
Yeah.
It's not allowed to carry it on the bus.
Well, like, it's a utility, innit? It's like you use it for, I don't know, chopping down brambles and shit.
Maybe. I found the perfect machete that I might treat myself to at some point.
It's very comforting that you've been looking.
Well, I was looking around for, what was I looking? I was looking for knives. I was like, I could do with a knife. And then it just escalated from there. But like, yeah, it was, most knives aren't, they're more for like whittling wood apparently. So like, fuck it, I found this machete. And it started, I've never been much of a collector of anything, but maybe machetes. No, it was film replica stuff.
Oh, right.
So it's a machete that's based off of the machete from Predator.
Okay,
so like,
that makes sense.
If I had Arnold Schwarzenegger's machete, I think I'd win.
Yeah. So
I was tempted to get some of that. And then there was like, there's loads of cool like film, not like film props. I don't really care about film props because they've all been taken by the people with all the money. If you got like a cool thing that was genuinely used in a film, like maybe it would be cool. But I'm happy with just complete good replicas of stuff. It's like, it'd be cool to have like, I don't know, that kind of collection. It wasn't a big dig, but I was like, if I did have an addiction to collecting stuff, maybe it would be this. Yeah. Just had stuff from films you liked. Had movies in your back garden or something.
Yeah, like it makes. I suppose it makes sense. There was a ban on zombie knives in this country, wasn't there? And that's like those weird, freaky looking blades. There's nothing specific, but if the blade's all fucking spiky and oddly shaped, if it looks like it's from a video game, like it's a zombie knife or something.
Survival packs and stuff.
Movie replicas. Did you ever? What was that Tarantino film? 7 something. Was it 7 something? I can't remember. Or there's something 7.
The Deadly.
The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight was what I was thinking. Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
Really good.
Yeah.
Have you not?
No. We had this discussion
Django,
before.
I showed it.
Seen Django. Yeah, I think we watched Django together. I think we might have gone to the cinema to see that. I can't remember, but the Hateful Eight. I still haven't seen it, but I remember reading about this bit with the guitar. Yeah. Did you look into the backstory of that at all?
That was my LARPing song. I didn't look into the backstory of the guitar that much, but the song became our LARPing song. Or my LARPing song.
So he wanted a very specific guitar, and it was like a Martin antique guitar, and it was just like beyond priceless, like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, because of either who it had been played by or how old it was or something like that. But just this pristine, perfect looking antique guitar. And the idea was, I think, I haven't seen it, so I don't know for certain, but the person plays it, and then either they do or someone else just smashes this guitar up. And because this thing was so priceless and whatever, it had a handler that was like on set with them with it at all times to make sure that everything was safe and everything like that. And the idea that that Tarantino didn't tell the actor was he just said go and do the scene. But the idea was they get to the point where it smashes, cut, swap the guitar, change the shot, guitar smashes. Did not tell the actor at all. Did not cut. Obliterated this antique guitar with the guy that's in charge of looking after it, just like watching on. Just ruined this guy's life.
Oh yeah, it comes over because I've got a really easy gig. Yeah, I've just got to watch a guitar. Yeah, no, it's I just sit around watching this guitar. Like, it's fine. It's an easy gig. Next day.
So to ruin my life. Fucking hate his films.
Banished from the guitar watching community. But it's a really good film. Yeah, really good film. If you are in need of a film,
it's been on my list for years, but I just haven't done it.
Do you actually make a dicky question, but it's a genuine question?
No.
Do you make a proper list? Do you have a list written somewhere? I was tempted to do that at one point.
I started to. I might have it on here. I started one, but it's definitely not up to date.
Yeah. I thought I vaguely for a moment thought I'd be organised and start ranking all my favourite stuff. And every time I watch a new film that's good, it could be interesting to try and place it. It's like, where would I place it?
Yeah. No,
an interesting thing.
I've never really been bothered about the ranking thing, but yeah, I know a lot of people because I did a bunch of film courses, and they have film logs or journals or something where they'll watch a film and they'll write it in their log, and they'll write kind of a few thoughts on what they thought about it and everything like that, and they just kind of I guess it's just a way of journaling and stuff. I don't really find it douchey. I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah, it's more admin.
Yeah,
I'm not that great at admin.
Yeah. But no, I don't have a proper list. I suppose it would be interesting. It would be interesting because Vix has got that list, but she's got it on of anime because she's watched so much of it. But she'll dip in and out, and in each series there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different episodes. So she has a whole spreadsheet of everything that she's watched and where she's up to with different series and everything like that. I think it would be interesting to be able to actually see physically how many films you've watched, maybe even how many times you've watched them.
End of life statistics.
Yeah. That would be interesting, but it just sounds like a lot of work, and it's not something I can. There was an app that I got called Letterboxd, which is essentially does that. It just keeps saying have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? And you just say yes or no, and if you say no, it puts it on a list. Because it's if you have seen this, then you might like this, this, and this. So have you seen any of these? And you go yes, no, and it basically sort of builds a list for you. But it also makes a list of all the things that you have seen. But obviously, I could have sat on that app just all day for a week, just making these big fucking lists. So it's just something I do when I've got 5 minutes, and then every week it sends you a digest of shit that it thinks you should watch. It's quite good. It's quite good. Anyway, that's Letterboxd if anybody wants it. In the meantime, an attempted burglary went awry in Lee County, Florida this week when the window of the victim's home fell shut on the assailant's neck and strangled him to death.
Did he have suicidal thoughts? Is it a Twitter killer?
Can we arrest the window?
Bring out a carpenter into the courtroom. Was it you that built this window?
Yeah.
That's karmic justice, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. A photo provided by the home's property manager shows the person caught in the window with a green frame about 5 feet off the ground. The window's closed on his neck, and the man's right arm hangs at his side, his body limp.
A green window, you say?
Green. Florida.
Sounds friendly. Not very friendly.
No, not at all. Yeah. I think it's weird. It's weird from both angles. It's weird on the outside to see a body hanging on the side of a house. It's weird on the inside for there to just be a head.
I don't remember that head being here before. With a really defeated and just oh, for God's sake, look on its face.
Oh, fuck it.
Houses defending themselves.
Yeah.
So that's going to go from Florida man to Florida house. Florida house kills 5.
Kills father of 5. Yeah. In other news, former henchman of Osama bin Laden, convicted of carrying out 2 deadly bombings in 1998, is now residing in the UK after being released by a judge in Manhattan because he's too fat and may be at risk of getting coronavirus.
It's a good, I like the maybe getting coronavirus or maybe spreading coronavirus. Maybe there's some argument you could possibly have there.
It wasn't a matter of spreading it. It was that if you get it, you'll die. So we best let you out even after you've killed all these people.
Henchman's a weird word, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought like bodyguard, but a henchman that goes out and blows things up. I guess that fits, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a Bond-like word. But and all his henchmen try to kill Bond. That's doing the things, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I remember there being a weird argument about COVID stuff in prisons back when it was starting about like, if you're knowingly increasing the risk of illness, then it becomes something other than prison, doesn't it? There's like a weird line. But it doesn't feel like the solution is like, well, you're forgiven then.
Yeah, no.
Because that's what it feels like, right? If you're releasing someone from prison, it feels like you're giving them a level of forgiveness.
And not just a guy that committed tax fraud or something, but like a bomber.
Yeah, not that guy, the 17-year-old who had that Indecent Images, or that beggar that wasn't allowed to stole a CCTV camera. Yeah, this is like, well... Yeah, maybe it's more serious. It should be treated more seriously.
Yeah.
But there was we covered a thing a while ago where a guy was let out and had to go to like weekly or monthly meetings in London, and he stole a horn of a walrus or something and attacked everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like, he was some kind of fanatic, I think, and that's why he was imprisoned and then let out to kind of workshop, remotely do stuff. This was before COVID as well.
Yeah, he went to like a meeting about like a stabbing rehab thing and ended up stabbing a lot of people. Rehab,
yeah, and it's like you can't just keep everybody in prison forever. But from our perspective, you go, well, if you murder more than a couple of people, you should stay in prison forever because you might murder even more than a couple.
You
of
should just be put down, right?
Yeah, well, that's I think we've just the UK is kind of like nah.
We don't do that.
What are you going to do with all the people?
We don't do that anymore. But don't just like be like, oh yeah, you're free to go, but fuck off. Like, no. If you're going to let him out, you take responsibility for him. Don't send him back to our fucking country.
Yeah, he said he was released into the UK from a judge in America.
No, he was in prison in Manhattan because he was imprisoned within, I guess, the same trial as a load of the other. What the fuck were they called? What was Osama bin Laden's party called?
Al Qaeda.
Yeah. He was arrested. He was put on trial with a load of that lot and sent down, and all that stuff was done in the States. So he was imprisoned in America. But his wife apparently lives over here, so he was released from his prison in the States, and he came back over here.
It does sound quite funny. Obviously, it's normal, but like just for henchmen to have wives.
Yeah.
It's just like they've got work life, personal life. How did your bombing go? It was fine. Yes. The same old. Derek was the same Derek. Still going to be a pain in the ass.
One of those.
Anyway, what's for dinner?
What are you going to do? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems like a weird level of forgiveness, I guess.
I don't know. There's a certain point where it's like, are we 100% sure he did it? Yeah. All right. Well, here's a tenner. Someone just go and fucking take him out while no one's looking. You know what I mean? Like even like go around that's a dangerous precedent to set. But like,
it's kind of the social justice, isn't it? Of like the people deal with it, or release the cows into the streets and let them handle it.
To be fair, like I always have this argument with like where do you sit on the death penalty stuff?
I don't think I reckon you can never prove somebody's 100% guilty.
See, so I
guess it follows that you can't therefore justify.
This was my problem with it is that I think if without any doubt whatsoever you can that someone has definitely murdered someone or done all of this, then they should absolutely lose their life in response. But who determines that, and how competent are they? Like, if it's the government, then I don't think I trust the government to be able to wield the power of ending people's lives.
Like Noel Edmonds kind of deal or no deal kind of setup.
Yeah. Put them in the big glass case, the grab a grand thing, like on Noel's house party, and like
the crystal maze is like in that, and it just slowly compresses.
It just get out, and it just locks and just never see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I were to murder somebody, I think I would accept that my life could be given in response. But I think that there's so many, like, even if there was video footage of somebody murdering somebody, you'd still have to justify the intention.
Yeah.
And like the reasoning, and what if it was what if it was to protect his own life? What if it was to protect the lives of others? What if it was because of something else? What if it was an evil person that he had, like a crime of passion? What is it?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think you can ever fully align that everyone agrees that this person should die. But I'm not against it. I just think that it's problematic.
Yeah. Yeah,
So therefore, I'm not for it, but I'm not against it.
I'm on the fence with it. I don't have a problem with places that still have it in place, because I'm just like, I think it's fine either way. I just I don't know how on one camp you can be like, the government's completely incompetent, and on the other be like, but let's empower them to kill people. Like that's. It doesn't make sense.
I reckon euthanasia and death sentence should go hand in hand. Because, like, I believe in euthanasia to be killed,
like I'm across the board.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure on it. To be fair, like, I think you should be able to take your own life.
Yeah.
But it's weird to go out. Well, and then again, there's precautions, isn't there? Because it's like, well, you have to protect people against themselves. You can't just let anybody have a medical license and go into town on their own body. You can't. The people who are asking for euthanasia maybe change their mind a week later. You don't know, so it does feel complex. But it's their decision. So if it's just their decision, go for it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's got to be somebody else's decision as well, it's the same argument, right? Of like, who decides?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the government to decide this person should die. That feels weird. But if the person wants to die, then I feel like they should have the power to decide that. You just don't need a doctor to do it most of the time, I guess.
Yeah.
The Samaritan's number will be rolling at the end of
this. In other news, the life of Tony Blair is set to hit the West End next year as a brand new rock opera entitled Tony, featuring Princess Diana and Saddam Hussein.
Sorry, I was laughing. Did you say a rock opera?
Yep.
Okay.
A brand new rock opera entitled Tony! Exclamation mark.
I don't know. I don't know anything about politics or whatever, but I think that if you're a very serious person and you find out that you're being turned into a rock opera, I don't understand how you could ever take the world seriously again. It's like, like, he's not like a musical person, as far as I know. He's not a theatrical person or anything like that.
He plays guitar.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he used to be in a band when he was a kid.
Act.
Maybe he wrote the music.
I'm taking a bit of a turn from politics.
Yeah.
I thought rock opera would appeal to people in these trying times.
No, apparently Harry Hill's got some involvement in it. I don't know exactly what, but I think he's, as far as writing or creating or something, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I guess that's quite similar to, like, what was it, the complete work of Shakespeare? Is that what it was called? There was like, they did a load of stuff about, like, there was a comedy troupe that did, I think it was the complete work of Shakespeare abridged or something. No, that's the name of the actual book. Yeah, there was a comedy troupe that, like, went through all of Shakespeare, and then they did loads of other political things in the American Revolution and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I remember them being quite good. So I guess it's that kind of thing, right? Of like, let's just talk about Tony Blair and the Iraq War, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
satirical.
Yeah,
theatre,
it'll be that kind of thing. I think it's probably the first musical representation of Saddam Hussein.
In this country, I'm sure in Iraq, he had a whole
100%.
karaoke bars filled.
He'll have been in every single one in Iraq.
He would have been in Home Alone.
Yeah.
That's so possible, isn't it? Like, especially now with all the deepfake stuff, you can just put yourself in films.
Yeah.
It's like government regimes to do it. Well, they already did it in China, didn't they? They banned Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if they just replaced it with something else. So it's Winnie the Egg. This is an egg. Why does the egg talk? Eggs talk.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
And finally, a drug dealer in Peru has been detained after a successful raid by the local police, who forced their way into the suspect's house dressed as Santa and his elves.
Merry Christmas! Smashing down the door. That's incredible, to be fair. That is probably... That's great.
Yeah.
Just before we raid this drug dealer, we need to be camouflaged. Well, it's Christmas. Who's going to... No one's going to suspect Santa Clauses and elves walking around. Why not?
No. Officers wearing flak jackets under their costumes arrived in an undercover van before breaking into the house, where they discovered a bag that appeared to contain drugs, balaclavas, and a gun. The country's police have used disguises during raids for some time, and they say the method is an effective tactic. They've been known to dress up as homeless people and street sweepers in the past.
Well, that at least kind of makes sense, right? Of like surprise. But it does fit what there was a Christmas not even a Christmas nativity. There was like a meet Santa thing.
Yeah.
Or something nearby, and they were inside of it, and they were like, oh, yeah, then we burst out. What do you want for Christmas? Drugs. Let's go. Arrived in a van dressed as a slave.
I didn't think it'd be that easy.
Yeah. But costume disguises make sense. Costumes, fancy dress drug raids. I'm all for it, to be fair, but it just doesn't feel like the serious people of the armed, response teams would be.
It was the end of the day. Like they're like, well, we can get dressed for the Christmas party now, and then we'll have time when we get back to get sherry or two, or like we'll miss it. We'll just be decent to do a raid dressed as Santa, right? Yeah.
The debrief is like, well, we found this amount of the cocaine, and we found these guns, and Terry won best elf. So hand him a plaque, give him a stocking, make it into a costumed fun time event. Could be good.
Yeah. Oh, there is one. There is one here.
I've never seen an elf stamp on a neck before.
Fucking beating him to death with a candy cane. There is one that I missed that I want to say just because the image of it made me laugh. A man was arrested following a routine traffic stop in Sunderland this week. While trying to access Google Translate on his phone to communicate with the officers, he instead showed them a picture of his marijuana farm. Like he already didn't speak English. He like just scrolling through his phone. Where is?
But what could they do anything about that? I guess because people can have pictures of farms. I guess. But yeah, imagine the look on his face. Oh. Fuck. This was the worst thing I could have done. Do you hear there was I think it was Hanley. Do you know Woolworths, where Woolworths was in Hanley?
Yeah.
Apparently it was a marijuana farm next, a marijuana warehouse last year.
That makes sense. There's a town next to ours where like they turned the old town hall into a marijuana farm. It's like, how? How did you do that? Apparently they like import a Chinaman. Like
they imported Chinamen.
Yeah, so
Chinese
like they'd
work.
they get like I think they were Chinese immigrants or Vietnamese immigrants or some. I'm tiptoeing around being vaguely racist, but so I'll like I don't know. I don't know where they came from, but apparently they get they use workers who can't speak English, so when they're questioned by the police, they can't tell anything about the people they work for because they don't know.
Then like the business was going well, they gave everyone company iPhones.
Yeah.
And everything.
So like this town hall was just filled with weed plants, and everybody that went past it was just like, it fucking reeks of weed around here. And the police were like, yeah, we know, but unless anybody complains about it, we can't do anything.
There's murderers happening in there. Hang on, are you complaining about there being murders, or are you just talking about all the murders that are going on? Well, I don't really mind. Well, we can't do anything.
It's essentially because you need, I guess you need some kind of form of complaint in an official capacity in order to get a warrant to enter the building. Whereas, like, with murder or whatever, you probably wouldn't need to do that.
Well, if you hear domestic argument coming from a building, you're able to intervene as a police officer, I think. If you hear threats.
Yeah.
If you believe a crime is going on, aren't you able to enter? Or deal with the crime in some way?
I don't know. I don't. If your only evidence is it smells, then maybe not. Maybe it's the quality of the evidence or something. Maybe you need a group of people to complain about. That's what they said. They said we need, I think it was like 6 complaints or something before we can properly investigate.
Well, I think it's weed is still quite a grey area crime, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't.
Like,
I really don't.
Pulled over, if you get caught with having weed on you, you can still just be given a warning.
Yeah, well, it's not worth them filling out the paperwork. And I'm pretty sure that really and not to say that everyone's misinformed, because I also think people are too laxed on weed. I think it's only ever really as dangerous as alcohol, but that doesn't mean there's no risk to it at all. I think really the only people I've noticed that seem to really give a fuck about weed is older people. I mean, like old people. Like old, like 70s, 80s, like people who like when they were kids and growing up and everything like that, it was like, it wasn't just a taboo, it was evil. Like, so they've had that kind of impression drilled into them.
There's a big shift in like the easygoing or the typical marijuana effects are more culturally accepted now. And maybe, a period of 50 years ago, everything was much more serious. Yeah. And the idea of somebody, laying on a couch watching television is like, oh, that's totally reprehensible. It's like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. And now it's become a bit more relaxed over time. Yeah. But so it's a bit of a grey area. So I guess it's just like, if you really want to, if you get caught with marijuana, I believe there is a chance that you're going to be let off with a warning. So. Yeah,
I might be wrong about this. As far as I'm aware, you can actually have a number of plants in your house and be let off with a warning. Like as long as it's clear you're not doing it for selling, which I guess for like 2 or 3 plants, it's obvious you wouldn't be.
But so it's a weird grey area. We're not endorsing it. It's just I can understand why people wouldn't raid with urgency. If it was if I was against weed, if I took such a strong stance about it that I was complaining to the police every time I smelled it, like I'd never get to leave the house. Like it would just like all up and down the street, you'll get whiffs of it all day long. Well, it's the argument isn't it? It's not the drug that's the issue, it's the illegality of obtaining the drug, which means that bad things happen to get the drug over here in the first place. So because it has to go through illegal means.
That's the thing. I think that's the most ridiculous thing, is like, regardless of your stance on it, like the government have obviously decided that it's worthwhile and profitable because we're the largest producer of medical marijuana in Europe. Like more than Amsterdam, more than the fucking Netherlands, where it's actually legal. Like, so there's obviously something screwy going on somewhere.
Well, it's just catching up with the times, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that whole argument of it. It's an interesting debate. I don't know where I land on it, but it's an interesting debate of if you legalized all drugs, there would be much less drug death. Because it would be much better regulated and much better. I think less illegality involved, less dealers. If you regulated it,
because it would cut.
In terms of getting it in the country,
there would generally be less crime. But in theory,
the less crimes there are, I guess, by definition.
Not with the drug thing, but just because the money gleaned from drugs fuels further crime.
Yeah, that's what I mean in terms of it's the illegality of it. Well, if it's coming from bad sources, then you're funding those bad sources in some way. And if it was just like that,
it's like,
that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, why not capitalize on that? Why not use that money to make people in your country's lives somewhat better?
Yeah, but even without the money, it just feels like, I don't know. It's an argument of you have to protect people against themselves.
Yeah,
there's a reason why alcohol shouldn't be sold to under 18s or whatever the age is.
Yeah,
there's a reason you shouldn't drink energy drinks before the age of 16.
That's the thing. I think it's about trying to get the culture right. Like, we have a very good idea of I think around alcohol, about what it is good for, about what it's bad for, about the effects of it and everything like that, because it's sewn in through hundreds of years of culture. But then if you just got all the drugs at once and were just like, here you go, like, there's nothing culturally to back that up. You've got a bunch of people who've got no business really trying everything at once, and like it's just going to be a mess.
If only they could figure out some kind of tier system. Or they could just start bringing out tier 1 drug release or something at different parts of the country to build up and up.
Yeah. Oh, this works. I like this tier system. I'm high as fuck.
I'll stay at my house, sure.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Stay at my house and just wait for this all to go fine.
But yeah, that's me. I'm all done.
Fair play.
It's a wrap.
Done.